Hi, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use Isntree Hyaluronic Acid Toner, which is great for all skin types. So if you have oily skin, you may just want to use it on its own to add something lightweight to the skin that helps to hydrate the skin but isn't too heavy nor clogs your pores. Or if you have a drier skin type, you want to combine it with your moisturizer. Now this helps to hydrate and plump the skin. You can use it daily in the morning and or evening, and you can use it along with any other skincare products since it's purely a hydrating toner. So I want to share with you a little application, getting started with the cleansing step, then the application of the toner, and then if needed you can follow with a moisturizer so I can keep the focus on the hyaluronic acid toner. Now, when getting started with your cleansing step, you want to make sure that you're starting off with clean hands. If they aren't clean, make sure to wash them at first and then get started with washing your face, which by the way can be washed in the shower or above the sink depending on your preference. Just make sure that you're using a cleanser that's suitable for your skin type or overall skin concerns. So when just using your hyaluronic acid toner, you can even work with treatment toners or even salicylic acid or AHA exfoliating acid cleanser, so that's completely fine. So as an example, I'm going to use CeraVe's foaming cleanser, which is great for normal to oily skin. If you have a different one, replace it, and check on the back of the packaging on how you should use your cleanser. Most often with such cleansers, it's advised to apply it to wet skin, and then later on you're going to rinse it off with water. In case in the evening you're working with an oil or balm cleanser, those are usually being applied to dry skin, and then you're going to rinse it off with water, so there's a significant difference. Now I'm going to get started with now wetting the skin, using a bit of the cleanser, massaging it all over and then rinsing it off. And I'm going to use lukewarm water for it so it feels comfortable on the skin. So let's go ahead and do this. Use about 1 to 2 pumps, so about a coin size amount of your cleanser on the palm of your hand or fingertips, about that much. Rub it between your hands and then gently massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. Just make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. So once you have massaged it all over, you now can go ahead and again rinse it off the skin. So when doing this above the sink, I recommend starting off by splashing some water onto your face and neck to get most of it off. And then I highly recommend using those makeup cloths, microfiber cloths. Those are extremely soft, and wet them in between, squeeze them out, and then use them to gently swipe across your face and neck to properly get off any residue, or even if that's your evening skincare routine, to get off the residue of your like sunscreen and or makeup. Those are extremely helpful. So now rinse again. So, and once you have properly rinsed off the cleanser, now it is important to take a clean towel and gently pat all over to remove the remaining water drops on the skin surface. You do not want to apply your hyaluronic acid toner to wet skin. You can apply to damp skin, but for that you need to take off the excess water. So once you have properly removed the excess water from the skin, this is now referring to damp skin, and so if you want to apply your hyaluronic acid toner to damp skin, now would be the time to do so. And as already mentioned, it's now going to be the next step after cleansing. So you can of course go ahead and apply your hyaluronic acid toner with a cotton pad. Just make sure that you're not going to over soak it so it's dripping wet. But my recommendation would be applying it with your hands so that you're not going to waste too much product. And if you're going to apply it with your hands, my general guide would be use between 5 to 8 drops. You can start off with 5. If that shouldn't be enough, then you always can increase it. And so then you can go ahead and evenly and gently blend it all over your face and neck to add hydration to the skin and give it a temporary plumbing effect. Rub your hands together and blend it all over. So, and once you have applied it all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, in case you should have an oilier skin type, you're just looking for something lightweight to add hydration to the skin, this can already be it, and it's completely fine to just use the toner on its own to add hydration to the skin. And there's no need to follow with a moisturizer afterwards, especially if you have already an oilier skin type, because your oil will do the job for you. However, if you have a drier skin type and you want to seal it now, well, now it's time to then move on to your moisturizing step. And so when it comes to the moisturizer, make sure that you're choosing one that's suitable for you, that you like, that you enjoy the texture, it feels comfortable on the skin, and use about a pea size to a bean size amount so that you can apply an even and thin layer all over. You do not want to like coat it on as a thick layer, you just want to evenly spread it out so that it can give it a protective layer all over. So as an example, I'm going to use La Roche-Posay Ultra Fluid. That's one that I really like. If you should have a different one, go ahead and exchange it. So about that much, more or less, which will look a bit different depending on the texture, but you should get the idea that you should have just an even and thin layer all over. Or just use your moisturizer in the areas where you experience dryness. You do not even need to use it all over. So, and then this would be a very simple, straightforward little skincare routine so that you can see the application of the hyaluronic acid toner as well as when it is needed to follow with a moisturizer afterwards. Now, of course, if you have sun exposure during daytime, you can always follow with your favorite sunscreen to protect the skin. But overall, hyaluronic acid does not make the skin sensitive to the sun. The sunscreen step is basically essential for you to protect your skin from the damaging UV rays. And so then this would conclude the entire setup of a very simple, straightforward skincare routine. Now, I want to quickly emphasize that in case you're working with specific treatments or even in the evening exfoliating acids, I often get the question if you can use hyaluronic acid with exfoliating acids like glycolic, lactic or salicylic acid, and yes, that's completely fine. Therefore, I have prepared for an example skincare routine in case you want to include them. So here you can see what a morning skincare routine will look like. You're going to get started with your cleanser that's suitable for your skin type, then move on to the hyaluronic acid toner, then follow on with your treatment, layering from the thinnest to the thickest texture, depending on what you're using, and then follow with your sunscreen afterwards. You could go ahead and use the moisturizer in between, depending on how much dryness you experience, but usually if you're already using the correct sunscreen formulations, that you can have creamier texture as well, or extremely lightweight sunscreens, this would do the job as well. And then for the evening skincare routine, in case you're working with exfoliating acids, you can see the setup right here. So in the evening, you may want to do a double cleanse using an oil or balm cleanse at first, and then when using a leave-on exfoliant, of course, you would then change to a regular cleanser, so a non-exfoliating acid cleanser, and then you can go ahead and adjust the order of application after that specific step. So either use your hyaluronic acid toner at first and then follow on with your exfoliating acid, or do it the other way around. It primarily depends on what's your major preference, and then go ahead and use that method. And then after that, you can follow with, for example, your moisturizer if you should feel the need. And there you have two great example routines that you may want to follow so that you have an idea of what the setup would look like. And you will be able to find the entire example routines in the description box down below. So this is what I wanted to share with you. I do hope that you enjoyed it, that you find it helpful. If you did so, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. And if you now want to learn more about skincare in general, I'm going to leave some of the videos at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.